Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a blessed day. I wanted to share with you Mark 8 today in the last part of that chapter. Um, the main thing I wanted to emphasize today was purpose. Purpose and action. You're going to see both of them here in a second. Verse 31, he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the scribes and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. He said this plainly. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But turning and seeing his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan, for you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man." And calling the crowd to him with his disciples, he said to them, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever would save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's will save it. For what is it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? For what can a man give in return for his soul? For whoever is ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him will the Son of Man also be ashamed when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels." So much in just those few verses there. There's so much to unpack. But let me unpack the main things, starting from the beginning. Peter was called Satan. Okay, one of the followers of Christ, the best followers of Christ, was called Satan. Why was he called Satan? You may ask. Well, he didn't have his mind on things of God. He didn't have his mind on the great purpose God gave Jesus to come to the earth, to die, to rise again, and to save all of us from our sins. He wasn't wanting in that moment Jesus to do his purpose. And that's why Jesus had to call him Satan. Because Satan didn't want that same thing either. Satan did not want Jesus to die and to rise again and to save us all from our sins. He did not want that to happen. So Peter was influenced by the same mindset that is obviously on Satan's mind. Hey, Jesus, it's okay. You don't have to die and rise again for our sins. And of course, we know that's not true. But that is what was said in the moment. And that is why Jesus had to correct it. Keep that in mind for yourself in your Christian walk. Are you setting your mind on things of this world? Or are you setting your minds on things of God? Basically, are you setting your mind on evangelizing? Are you setting your mind on becoming the Christian God would have you to be? The one that loves others, the one that loves his enemies, the one that witnesses, the one that clothes the homeless, the one that feeds the homeless, the one that shares the beauty of the gospel to anyone and everyone he sees? Are we striving to become like that? Or are we striving to settle into our old ways of following everything this world will have us to do? It's something to keep in mind. And then Jesus says, "If anyone will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Denying yourself, exercising discipline. Discipline is one of the best things that a man or woman can have. Because if you have discipline, you can deny yourself things that are bad for your body, like junk food, like sweets, like all these things that we know are bad for our body. But also, exercising discipline lets you not intake things that you know are wrong for your Christian life, like sinful desires, like doing anything that you know is wrong, like hating your enemy, like judging your neighbor, like not witnessing at all, like not wanting to share the gospel and being ashamed of God and being ashamed of Jesus. Deny those things from your life. Deny the feeling of not thinking that you can not share the gospel. Deny the feeling of thinking that you're not ever going to love that person again. Deny all those things. Say, I don't want those things in my life. Say, I want the mind of Christ in my life now. I don't want the mind of this world anymore. That's something very important too. Now, those are the two main things I wanted to emphasize. Us as Christians have to exercise discipline in doing what we know is right. And you know what's right, and I know what's right. We all have our own downfall. We all have our own sins. We all have our own struggles. But it is so important that we bring them to Christ. It is so important that we love Christ. It is so important that we do what we know is necessary for Christ. Have a great day.